welcome to the Inosuke mask tutorial. Bear with me, this is going to be a lot because I didn't think to actually record clips explaining what I was doing, so I'm just going to have to show videos and do voiceovers because I really don't know how else to explain what I did for the whole process. Okay, so starting off with the bones of the mask, I just took an Amazon box and cut it up into, I think it was 4 strips, and then measured my son's head so that I could make sure, obviously, it could go on and off of it, and then just duct taped them all together. Then I just freehanded this nose shape, and then I duct taped everywhere that I had cut so that it wouldn't have like jagged edges. I didn't attach it yet. I waited until after papier-mâché was done to attach the nose piece. Okay, then we have the papier-mâché. This is the first layer. The recipe I used for papier-mâché was 1 part glue and 2 parts water, and I just used like Elmer's craft glue. Another recipe that I saw said to put salt in it. I don't know if that does anything, but I did do that. And hot water instead of just like cold water. This is the brand and color of the felt that I used for the fur, silver gray, and I got it from Joanne. I actually already had a couple of these pieces of felt from like other projects I've done, so I didn't have to buy that much felt for this at all. Then this is the color I used for the ears, candy pink. So this is after the first layer of papier-mâché had dried. I cut out the eye holes and then I added those ears with more pieces of cardboard box. I kind of was just trial and error until it looked like the right shape. The nose is still not attached. He's holding it with his hands on there. He was actually saying he was picking his nose in this video, which I thought was very canon to Inosuke. Oh yeah, I also don't remember if I said, but I duct taped around the edges of the eye holes so that it would like look a little bit more clean. I don't have an X-Acto knife, so I just was shoving a knife in there and hoping for the best. Obviously, this is the second round of papier-mâché. I made sure to get the eye holes and the ears and just touch up any different areas that maybe needed a little bit more depth or coverage. I would stick my head inside and see if there was like any light spots or anything, and then just kind of went from there. I don't remember if I said, but the papier-mâché I let dry for like over a day, so just getting the head to its shape took me like almost an entire week. So this is when I started putting the felt on. I just used hot glue. For the first couple layers, I just cut really long pieces and kind of layered them over each other, but I went all the way around the mask. I didn't just stay in one area. I kind of went the whole circumference of the bottom of the mask to begin the felt process. Okay, so once I started like really getting away with the felt, I decided to draw arrows on the head so that I would know which direction the fur needed to be like going. So I drew them all over the place, and then you can see I also outlined where the mouth was going to be as well. But I drew little arrows everywhere showing like how I wanted the fur to be laying so that I wouldn't get confused, because the cheeks were very confusing to do. Because they start off like facing downward, and then I wanted them to kind of gradually start facing this way instead, so that he would look like he has like big poofy cheeks. Like this, kind of, you know, how it like pokes out, sort of like that, instead of just kind of like laying flat down and kind of like pokes out to the side. I don't know if that makes any sense. Also, the snout, I just laid pieces across of it, and then there you can see that where the mouth is right there. I didn't go over the mouth because I wanted it to obviously look like it's separated. And then I left a space right here for the tusk to go. But this was really annoying because I had to keep filling in areas with gray felt so that it wouldn't just have this giant hole. But yes, make sure you leave a little spot for the tusk to go when it is dry. Speaking of the tusks, I used this to make them. And once I created them, I let them dry for a day, and then I used a toothpick to make the kind of like little lines and the texture out of it, and then I let it dry again for another day and a half. So the next step was the ping pong balls, which I had my husband cut in half so that I could paint them and glue them to the mesh once it was ready. I actually got this idea from somebody off of YouTube who was also making a mask, a little bit different than mine, but I thought it was a pretty good idea. So these are the colors I used for the eyes. The first color is by Apple Barrel and it is Cloudless. And then the second color is by Apple Barrel and it is Tropical Blue. And y'all saw I just used Sharpie to draw on the pupil and the little whatever these things are. For the mesh on the eyes, I just cut out pieces of mesh and then hot glued them down and stuck a piece of felt to them. It does not look pretty from the inside. But you know what? It works. So also the nose is mesh too, so he could breathe out of it. But I did this on the nose before I attached it to the actual mask. But yeah, there's mesh right in here too. The rest is going to be kind of difficult to explain. It's just like the way I placed certain pieces of fur. So all of it can still move, so you can kind of like adjust it to make it look however you want it to look, which I think is really cool. But so for these like cheek pieces where it's kind of like poking out a little bit, I did stick them down like facing this way. I don't know if that makes any sense. Just so that they would like stand up a little bit more and like form the cheekbone structure that I was going for. Same on this side. They kind of put in this way. And then, again, if you guys have any questions, I don't know if I'm answering like the things you guys want me to. Here's a full 360. I'm more than happy to share because there are like 0 tutorials. There's actually, I think, 2 or 3 tutorials on how to make an Inosuke mask on the internet that I could find. So I am more than happy to share like any secrets that I did or used to make all this happen. Just let me know down in the comments. I also just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all of the love. This has taken me quite a long time, over a week to be exact. I only finished it last night because everyone was screaming at me to finish part 2. I stayed up till like 2:45 in the morning so I could finish doing this and post the final results for you guys. I'm still not done working on it. Cosmetically, it is finished. I'm so sorry. My dog Sasha, she finished her lunch and she's just like chewing on her bowl. Sasha, stop. She's named after Sasha from Attack on Titan because of how much she loves food. But yeah, no. So I finished it last night and I wanted to get the part 2 posted for everybody who was asking for it. But yeah, I'm still working on the inside. Obviously, there's not any foam to support his head at the moment. It just kind of sits on there. I'm going to work on doing that, but cosmetically, it's all done. So I wanted to show you guys the results.